everybody. Welcome back once again. Another edition of Inside the Headset. It's Wednesday, and I'm on the campus of Oakland High School. I got with me the head coach of the Oakland Patriots for Game 10, Week 11. Head coach Kevin Creasy. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good, Stork.
Well, this is the final time, man. I was just discussing with you. I have been coming over here. I mean, this is well over 100 times that you and I have sat here, and the biggest thing I want to say is thank you. I mean, from the first time I guess we met, and Coach McDaniel went to Christian Brothers. They made the announcement. I asked John Jones, what am I getting? What am I getting here? And he says, you're gonna be all right, Stork. You're gonna be all right. But neither you nor me knew that we were going to become not only just have a great relationship in front of this camera, but have a great relationship just as two friends.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I appreciate the relationship. I don't think either one of us are going anywhere.
No.
Probably can't be in front of the camera much longer, but at the same time, we're still going to be buddies, and you holler at me anytime.
Well, and I think it was the backgrounds we came from. You grew up in West Tennessee, agrarian society. Your parents, they didn't tolerate a few things. They tried to keep you in line. I grew up in Western Kentucky, same different, Tennessee's big on football, Kentucky's big on basketball. We think Western Kentucky, the basketball that's played in Western Kentucky is better than the basketball played in Eastern Kentucky, and so on and so forth, and no different from West Tennessee ball's a little bit better than East Tennessee ball. That's just the way it is. But, our backgrounds were similar, and we grew up eating the same foods. We had that conversation one night that we thought our parents, everything had to be fried in an iron skillet, and that's the way life was. But, here we are, Coach. We're at Week 10, and man, it just flew by, and you got a really, really good football team, and you're excited. But last Friday night, you was a little nervous. That Week 8, Game 9, one of those sometimes can be a little bit, that some people may label it as a trap game or something. And for you, I think you were just like, well, we haven't played Stewart's Creek in a while, and you just didn't want you guys to go to sleep on that one.
Yeah, no doubt. Can't look ahead. We knew Riverdale, was the next week, and a really good team. And Stewart's Creek, had a couple of injuries that, kind of hurt them all year long. I mean, just terrible injuries that would really hurt any team. But at the end of the day, I thought our guys came out and played well. And you look at what all we did to start the game. We had a quick start. Special teams were huge. Craig Tuck had 2 return for touchdowns on punts, and scooped them off the ground. Almost had a third one and got called back for a block. But we're up pretty quick in the first quarter.
And your offense hadn't even gotten on the field.
Yeah, offense still hadn't even gotten on the field, so that makes you a little nervous. Since fall break, our offense hadn't got to play many snaps. So that's kind of got us in a little bit of a rut, and it makes us curious about how we're going to perform, this week against a really good defense.
Well, and people have to understand, you have to have the starters. You've got a philosophy. They have to have so many snaps. They have to have, and that's under the lights. That's with the clock. That's with the refs. It's with the atmosphere. You got to get those in, don't you, Coach?
Yeah, you do. And like I said, it's a good problem to have with the running clock. But then at the same time, you don't really get a lot of reps like you want. And then you put in the young guys, and young guys, they don't get a lot of reps that they want. And parents want to know why you're winning, 49-0, and the kid only got in 2 plays, And so it's just one of those deals, which is a good problem to have. I definitely don't want to be on the other end of it.
No.
But at the same time, we've been practicing hard against each other, just trying to get ready for a defense that's physical like ours, fast like ours, and got good playmakers like ours. So. That's something that concerns us, but then, what can you do? You've been practicing all these, weeks and playing good competition early in the year. Now the weather's cooler, it feels like playoff time, so we got to respond, can't make excuses about that. And our offense is going to have to respond and play as well as our defense has.
Well, and this game tomorrow night, it's not over. The template is not yet set. So, you come away with a loss, that template's going to look a lot different on how you got to go out and how you got to play when you start that second season versus if you guys take care of business, you got a chance to start hosting home games all the way up to round 4, possibly.
Yeah, no doubt. We told our guys, it's nice to win a rivalry game.
Yeah.
But it's much bigger than that. It's much bigger than the region championship hoodie. It's more like you get to stay at home instead of get on a charter bus and go to who knows where.
That's exactly right.
Now, somebody in our region, or the region up the road is going to have to go to East Tennessee round 4 more than likely. But in the meantime, the next 3 rounds, we determine our own destiny. We win and go 10-0, we're good. If Blackman loses and we lose, then we're a 2 seed. And so, we need to control our own destiny is basically the point.
Yeah, and and that's the main thing. That's like tomorrow night for that 48 minutes, and then once that template's set, do you like it that you're playing on Thursday night? That's for the first game. At least you're in the playoffs. You just don't know who you're going to be playing and where you're seated yet till the results will come out at 10 o'clock on Thursday night. But it's still going to give you Friday all day, the 31st, to kind of sit back and say, okay, this is what we need to do, and I'm sure you'll get the guys out and y'all will practice Friday.
Well, we're going to watch film Friday.
Okay, we're going to watch film Friday.
Trust me, that's the thing about it. Me and Will Creasy have talked about this. Us playing each other week 10, a little bit rough because the game's always, a physical game.
Oh, you're going to try to kill each other.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what everybody doesn't understand.
You turn right back around and play a quality opponent. You're playing a playoff team the very next week, and then the very next week, and then the very, so it's win or go home after this week. And we have, like I said, the best defense, one of the best offenses we've seen, great in the special teams. So, well-coached team, and it's going to be, a tough way to try to get into the playoffs is, trying to win this last game.
Well, and I feel like Riverdale's gotten better. I mean, Aiden Evans has gotten that defense all wound up, and then Hampton and Corbin Reynolds have seemed to team up, and if Hampton finds him, Corbin's going to catch it. I mean, that's just all there is to it. So, they've got their goons and they got their money guys, and I like this matchup. It'll be a great, high-quality game. Of course, you got a little bit of TV to mess with, so that throws a kink in her, doesn't it?
Yeah, that does. It definitely kind of gets the flow of the game kind of disrupted. But,
yeah.
Our guys are used to it. They play on TV a couple times a year.
Been on Stork Vision.
They've been on Stork Vision. There was no Stork TV timeouts, though.
Oh, no.
Those TV timeouts are the one that kind of gets you. But, like I said, it's one of those things, we're glad they're showcasing our players, this 1 week. We're glad that you showcased our players for, over a decade. So, we appreciate you. And like I said, I hate that we're not going to have this lunch in front of the camera anymore, but we'll get together some other times.
Well, and Coach, I mean, a lot of people don't understand that, I've gotten better. You've helped me get better, and you've taught me a lot about the game. I mean, I'm not the greatest announcer or anything, but I sure do enjoy it. I enjoy watching your teams get out there, as well as all the other Rutherford County teams. I just feel like it's good coaching, and, you and I were talking before we got on the air. I've got a great game Friday night. I've got Blackman and Rockville, and James Counts. And it seems like Rockville is continuing to get better, and Counts has got them rolling, and that's going to be a slugfest. And Melvin Boone and Dallas Paldo and those guys, they're going to try to kill Blackman because that's the only way they get in the playoffs. They control that, don't they?
They do, and likewise, Blackman wants to be the 2 seed instead of the 3 seed, and all that. So there's a lot on the line, and if they played on Friday night, I would be tuning in. Unfortunately, we both play at the same time, which, I wish that would change, if they're going to keep doing it this setup the way it is now.
And then that Smyrna Stewart's Creek game, that's a good one because it's Stewart. Ben has a chance to make Matt stay at home, and
that's another rivalry game, and like I said, I'd be curious to watch either one of those.
Yeah.
A lot of good football in the county this week.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Coach, have you enjoyed this season, enjoed this bunch? You were just talking before we got on, and you said the one problem you hadn't had to worry about is getting called out. Your football players seem to be good gentlemen, not only on the field, but in the classroom.
Yeah, got a great group, man. Just obviously raised right and that sort of thing. So somebody did a good job before we got a hold of them. And like I said, they're just a pleasure to be around. But a lot of people are like that when you're 9-0. If you get down 10, 15, 20 points at halftime, it's curious to see how everybody's going to respond. I thought our bunch last year, a little rough around the edges. I had to get their attention several times throughout their career. But when we go down 10 at half, in the third quarter, Riverdale has the ball, and they're about to go up 3 scores. We make a turnover, defense makes a play, offense goes and responds. And those kind of guys, they leaned on each other and fought back and had an incredible win for us. And I hope our guys this year, when we're down a little bit, hopefully we can come back.
Well, Coach, I think Coach Count said it best. This season, we've been blessed. There's been a lot of good football players. No matter where you go on Friday night, whether it's on your side of the ball or on their side of the ball, you've seen a lot of good talent. There's a lot of good talent in our county, in Rutherford County. Region 3 has really done well this year.
Yeah. The regular season's about over, and hopefully our region represents itself well in the playoffs.
Well, that's going to be right here tomorrow night. That's That's going to be the Battle of the Borough. That's one of the oldest rivalries here in Rutherford County. That is a TV game, regardless. So tickets are still on sale, and that kickoff will be at 7 o'clock, and y'all be here.